Hare Krishna. Today we will be discussing Bhagavad-Gita Sloka 10.3, chapter 10, verse 3. I will be reading the verse now. Then we are going to read the synonyms, translation, and then purport. The verse is as follows. यो मामजमनादिं च वेत्ति लोकामहेश्वरम् असम्मूढ समर्थ्येषु सर्वपापै प्रमुच्यते. Synonyms: यह, anyone who, माम, me, so Vetti, knows, Loka, of the planets, Maheshwaram, the supreme master, Asammudaha, undeluded, Saha, he, Martyeshu, among those subject to death, Sarva Papaihi, from all sinful reactions, Pramuchyate, is delivered. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. He who knows me as the unborn, as the beginningless, as the supreme Lord of all the worlds, he only, undeluded among men, is freed from all sins. Purport: as stated in the 7th chapter, Bhagavad-Gita 7.3, Manushyanam sahasreshu kashchid yatati siddhaye. Those who are trying to elevate themselves to the platform of spiritual realization are not ordinary men. They are superior to millions and millions of ordinary men who have no knowledge of spiritual realization. But out of those actually trying to understand their spiritual situation, one who can come to the understanding that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the proprietor of everything, the unborn, is the most successful spiritually realized person. In that stage only, when one has fully understood Krishna's supreme position, one can be free completely from all sinful reactions. Here the Lord is described by the word Aja, meaning unborn, but he is distinct from the living entities who are described as the 2nd chapter as Aja. The Lord is different from the living entities who are taking birth and dying due to material attachment. The conditioned souls are changing their bodies, but his body is not changeable. Even when he comes to this material world, he is the same as unborn. Therefore, in the 4th chapter, it is said that the Lord, by his internal potency, is not under the inferior material energy, but is always in the superior energy. In this verse, the words Vetti Loka Maheshwaram indicate that one should know that Krishna is the supreme proprietor of the planetary systems of the universe. He was existing before the creation, and he is different from his creation. All the demigods were created within this material world, but as far as Krishna is concerned, it is said that he is not created. Therefore, Krishna is different even from the great demigods like Brahma and Shiva. He is the supreme person of all planets. Sri Krishna is therefore different from everything that is created, and anyone who knows him as such immediately becomes liberated from all sinful reactions. One must be liberated from all sinful activities to be in knowledge of the Supreme Lord. Only by devotional service can he be known, and not by any other means, as stated in the Bhagavad-Gita. One should not try to understand that Krishna as a human being. As stated previously, only a foolish person thinks him to be a human being. This is again expressed here in a different way. A man who is not foolish, who is intelligent enough to understand the constitutional position of the Godhead, is always free from sinful reactions. If Krishna is known as the son of Devaki, then how can he be unborn? This is also explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam. When he appeared before Devaki and Vasudeva, he was not born as an ordinary child. He appeared in his original form, and then he transformed himself into an ordinary child. Anything done under the direction of Krishna is transcendental. It cannot be contaminated by material reactions, which may be auspicious or inauspicious. The conception that there are things auspicious and inauspicious in the material world is more or less a mental concoction, because there is nothing auspicious in the material world. Everything is inauspicious because the very material nature is inauspicious. We simply imagine it to be auspicious. The real auspiciousness depends on the activities in Krishna consciousness in full devotion and service. Therefore, if we at all want our activities to be auspicious, we should work under the directions of the Supreme Lord. Such directions are given in the authoritative scriptures such as Srimad Bhagavatam and the Bhagavad-Gita, or from a bona fide spiritual master. Because the spiritual master is the representative of the Supreme Lord, his direction is directly the direction of the Supreme Lord. The spiritual master, saintly persons and scriptures direct in the same way. There is no contradiction in these three resources. All action done under such direction is always are free from the reactions of pious or impious activities of this material world. The transcendental attitude of the devotee in the performance of the activities is actually that of renunciation, and this is called sannyasa. As stated in the first verse of the 6th chapter of the Bhagavad-Gita, one who acts as a matter of duty because he has been ordered to do so by the Supreme Lord is the Ashritaha Karma Phalam, is a true renouncer. Anyone acting under the direction of the Supreme Lord is actually a sannyasi and a yogi, and not the man who has simply taken the dress of a sannyasi or a pseudo yogi. So this is the Sloka or chapter 10 verse 3, and also Krishna is basically giving this knowledge to Arjuna here, because Arjuna is non-envious. Idam tute gohyatamam pravakshyami anasuyave. This knowledge is not been given to anybody else. This knowledge has been given only to Arjuna because he possesses the quality of non-enviousness. The translation of 9.1 is as follows. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear Arjuna, because you are never envious of me, I shall impart to you this most confidential knowledge and realization, knowing which you shall be relieved of the miseries of material existence." So the Lord doesn't impart this knowledge to us because we have the quality of enviousness, but because of the compassion of great souls like Arjuna and Srila Prabhupada, we get this knowledge even though we are we have the quality of enviousness, and we can be uplifted to the platform of non-enviousness. So opulence of the Lord is basically the Aishwarya Gyan, and he describes it in Sloka 10.1. And also one more, he starts to describe it in this 10th chapter. So in this 10th chapter, this 10th chapter is basically the answer to Arjuna's question, which he doesn't ask to Krishna directly, but he is thinking. So Krishna senses that Arjuna is thinking this question because he is Paramatma himself, and then he starts to give this answer. This whole 10th chapter is an explanation of that question which Arjuna did not say. And what is that question which Arjuna did not say? In the in Bhagavad-Gita Sloka 9.34, the Supreme Lord mentioned, "Engage your mind in always thinking of me, become my devotee, offer obeisances to me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, you will surely come to me." So the Supreme Lord said this, and Arjuna thought that in this material world, remembering, offering obeisances, worshipping, thinking of the Lord is very difficult. So how to do it? So then here Krishna starts to explain this 10th chapter. He says, Shrunu. He says, Bhoya eva mahabaho shrunu me paramam vachaha. Listen to my greatest instruction. Paramam vachaha. This is my supreme instruction. So please listen to it. That's what he is saying. And Yatteham priyamanaya. You are my friend, and that's why I am speaking it to you. So and actually here Yomam Ajamanadimcha. Here the word Aja means unborn. So Krishna is born as the son of Devaki and Vasudeva, and at the same time he says that he is unborn. So only in the Lord there is Virodha Bhava. Virodha Bhava means contradiction. That here he is saying that he is unborn, and here is saying that he is born as the son of Devaki. So This concept of Virodha Bhava of the Supreme Lord, this mystery can be understood only by bhakti. And we cannot say at all that here the Supreme Lord is saying this is right and here the Supreme Lord is saying this is wrong. So we cannot think that, oh, which is right, which is wrong. Both are right. If the Supreme Lord is saying it, that means that both are right. And also in the purport, Srila Prabhupada mentions that if Krishna is known as the son of Devaki, then how can he be unborn? This is also explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam. When he was born before Devaki and Vasudev, when he appeared before them, he was in his original form, but then later he became a ordinary baby child, and he acted as the son of Devaki and Vasudev. He portrayed the role of being the son of Devaki and Vasudev. So this contradiction, this is a point of contradiction, but we should not think that oh, this is right, this is wrong. We should not apply our brain in this, because our brain has very limited capacity to think and analyze. So we should leave the brain at the place of leaving shoes, and then we should go to see the spiritual master. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he says that where you are leaving your chappal or your shoes, right, you should leave your brain at the same place, and then you should go to meet your spiritual master. Because whatever the spiritual master says is in direction with what Krishna says. So what spiritual master says cannot be false, and we should not contradict it. We should not try to use our mind to analyze it and think about it and say what is right and what is wrong. That is not our work. The work has already been done by the Supreme Lord and his representative Acharya. So we just have to follow what is given. And now we should accept that we are zero and everything is coming by the mercy of Krishna and Gurus only. So similarly, while reading scriptures, we should not apply our brain in it. We should leave our brain aside and then we should read scriptures. So, and Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, we should take the shelter of three things. And also along with this, getting knowledge and performing service should go hand in hand. And beginning is sevon mukhehi jihvadav swayameva spuratyadha. That is by eating prasadam and chanting the holy name. Also, regarding this, Prabhupada says the contradiction thing. Prabhupada says that anything that is done under the direction of Krishna is transcendental. So and we are going down all the way down to the last line of the last lines of the purport, that the transcendental attitude of a devotee in the performance of devotional service is actually that of renunciation, and this is called sannyasa. One who acts as a matter of duty because he has been ordered to do so by the Supreme Lord and he does not seek shelter of the fruits of his activities, that person is actually a sannyasi. Because otherwise detachment is not to leave things and then later accept some great austerity and then later get frustrated and come back home. That is not detachment. Even if you accept the dress of a sannyasi or a pseudo yogi, from inside you have to leave all thoughts of detachment, because it may happen that you have accepted the dress of a sannyasi and you are doing tapasya like a yogi, but your mind is on riches, your wealth. You want wealth, you want money, fame, women, etc. Your mind is thinking about that. So there is no use of renunciation like this. Better you have all the riches possible and you remain like a sannyasi. You don't desire for them. But if you become a sannyasi and then desire for riches and etc., that is called markat vairagya, that is monkey renunciation. So monkey is living in the forest. It has all. It lives on fruits and lives on the branches. But we see that it has so much enjoying mentality. It keeps all the dozens of female monkeys near it. So this is called Markat Vairagi. These kind of sannyasis are called Mithyacharis according to Krishna in the 3rd chapter of the Gita. So we shouldn't become like this. So if we are acting under the direction of the Supreme Lord, we are actually sannyasi or a yogi, or else we are not. And at the end, the essence is that one should know the Supreme Lord as the unborn, as the beginningless, one who does not have any beginning, who has never been created. In fact, who creates people, Jivatma, the soul, and many other demigods and many other universes. So we should also know him as the Supreme Lord of all the worlds, and then only then we can be freed from all kinds of sins. And here here affairs of all the universes, and different demigods have different posts to handle the administration of the universe. So Sri Krishna is therefore different from everything that is created, and anyone who knows him as such becomes immediately liberated from all kinds of sinful reactions. Also, in the beginning of the purport, it is stated that in Bhagavad-Gita chapter 7, verse 3, Manushyanam Sahasreshu Kaschid Yatasi Siddhaye, that Manushyanam Sahasreshu, that among many men, I will just find the verse here, 7.3. So here, out of many thousands of men, one may endeavor for perfection, and of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. This is the thing. So only some fortunate people can get this chance to understand the Supreme Lord like this and become freed from all sins. So this was the end of Bhagavad Gita chapter 10, Sloka 3. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranams.